Humanity walks, sleepwalking, over a vast ocean of mysteries, content to classify the waves on the surface without ever diving into the abyssal depths that generate them. We have become accustomed to easy labels, tags we stick on each other's foreheads. He is shy. She is sociable. He is introverted. She is extroverted. But, my dears, the superficial dichotomy is merely the shell of a much more complex and ancient seed. What I propose today is that we tear the veil of pop psychology and enter the laboratory of the soul. There are not just two directions for psychic energy. There are entire compasses, sophisticated mechanisms through which consciousness filters, judges, and perceives reality. If you feel you have never truly fitted into these binary boxes, I ask you to stay with me. Let us dissect the 8 fundamental psychological types, the 8 lenses through which the human spirit attempts to comprehend the cosmos and itself. This is not just a lesson, it is a mirror. If you wish to look into it, subscribe now to this journey, for what we will see next may explain conflicts you have carried for a lifetime. Let us begin, then, with extroverted thinking, or what we might call the architect of objective reality. Imagine an individual whose soul is anchored in concrete facts, in universal laws, in the logical order that governs the external world. For this type, truth is not a matter of feeling or personal preference. Truth is what works, what is measurable, what is applicable. They are the builders of empires, the jurists, the scientists who catalog nature. Extroverted thinking submits everything, including itself, to an objective intellectual formula. The end justifies the means is a phrase that, while dangerous, resonates with the efficiency of this function. If you know someone who, in the face of emotional chaos, immediately seeks a practical solution, a spreadsheet, a restructuring of the system, you are facing this force. They are not cold out of malice. They are cold because the fire of external logic consumes the mist of subjectivity. They bring order to chaos, but run the risk of transforming life into an arid equation, where the human factor is merely an error variable. Now, let us turn our eyes inward, to introverted thinking. Here, logic seeks neither the applause of the external world nor the validation of immediate empirical facts. The introverted thinker is the philosopher of internal logic, the architect of invisible castles. For him, external reality is secondary. What matters is the purity of the idea, the internal coherence of the system he builds in his own mind. Think of Kant, think of Einstein and his thought experiments. They can spend days in silence, chasing a thought to its deepest root, indifferent to whether the world agrees or not. The danger here is isolation. The idea becomes so perfect that reality seems dirty, inadequate. If you find yourself constantly analyzing the definitions of words, seeking the essence of concepts, and becoming frustrated when reality does not obey your internal logic, this may be your dominant function. It is a world of crystalline clarity, but also a world that can become an ivory tower, disconnected from human warmth. This inevitably leads us to the opposite pole, to the realm of values, extroverted feeling. If thinking defines what is, feeling defines what it is worth. And in the extroverted type, this value is derived from the collective, from external harmony. These are the people who feel the atmosphere of a room as soon as they enter it. They are the social glue, those who instinctively know what is appropriate, what is beautiful, what is morally accepted by the group. Do not confuse this with falsity. For them, connection with the other is the supreme reality. They genuinely suffer with discord and flourish in harmony. They are the perfect hosts, the counselors, those who keep the family together. However, the risk is the loss of their own soul, from adapting so much to what the world expects, to what the other feels. They may forget what they themselves feel. They become mirrors, reflecting everyone's light, but without a flame of their own at the center. If you feel that your happiness depends almost entirely on the happiness of those around you, pay attention. Your compass may be pointing outward, guided by extroverted feeling. Hit the like button if you know someone who carries the weight of the world on their shoulders in this way. Diving again into deep waters, we find introverted feeling. Here, the waters are still, but of unfathomable depth. The saying, "still waters run deep," was made for this type. They do not demonstrate their emotions like fireworks. They guard them like a sacred treasure in an underground crypt. Their values do not come from social consensus, but from an unshakable inner voice, often linked to primordial images, to absolute ideals of love, honor, or beauty. They may seem distant, even cold or arrogant to the inattentive observer, but inside, a volcanic passion burns. They are the poets who write for the drawer, the martyrs who die for a cause without making a speech. They feel the world with an intensity that language cannot express. The tragedy of introverted feeling is incommunicability. They carry a universe of emotion that rarely manages to cross the bridge to the other. If you feel that no one will ever understand the true depth of what you feel, you likely inhabit this silent kingdom. But the mind does not live only on judgments, it lives on perceptions. We now enter the domain of extroverted sensing, the master of the moment. This is the psychological type most rooted in material, tangible reality. For them, abstraction is a waste of time. What matters is the here, the now, the smell, the touch, the intensity of sensory experience. They are the supreme realists. They do not seek hidden meanings behind the flower. The flower itself, with its colors and textures, is miracle enough. They are the athletes, the explorers, the lovers of good food and fine wine, those who know how to live. They have an incredible capacity to notice details that go unnoticed by other types. The danger? Becoming slaves to the stimulus, living only on the surface of things, chasing the next strong sensation to escape inner emptiness. If you live seeking the next adventure, the next aesthetic pleasure, and have difficulty planning the abstract future, extroverted sensing is the lens of your eyes. In contrast, we have the enigmatic introverted sensing. While the extroverted type sees the object as it is, the introverted type sees the object through a subjective filter, an overlay of past impressions and archetypal images. They look at a tree and do not see just the wood and the leaf. They see the tree of their childhood, the tree of fairy tales, the subjective essence of that object. They are the guardians of memory. Objective reality, for them, is aggressive. They prefer the familiar world, the routine that allows them to savor their internal impressions safely. They are meticulous, loyal, attached to tradition not out of blind conservatism, but because the past is, for them, more alive than the present. They may seem slow to react to the new, because every new impression needs to be compared with the vast archive of their internal sensations. It is a world of impressionistic tones, where reality is painted by the colors of the soul. And then we arrive at the visionaries, starting with extroverted intuition, the explorer of possibilities. For this type, the concrete object is merely a springboard. They look at a situation and do not see what it is, but what it can be. They are sniffers of potential. Where others see an old house, they see a restoration project. Where they see a problem, they see a business opportunity. Their mind is a constant firework of connections, jumping from one idea to another at breakneck speed. They are the initiators, the entrepreneurs, the journalists who connect distant dots. But their curse is inconsistency. As soon as a possibility materializes and becomes routine, it dies for them. They suffocate in stability. They plant 1,000 seeds, but rarely stay to see the harvest, for they are already running after a new virgin field. If your mind never stops, if you have 10 ideas before breakfast, extroverted intuition is your engine. Finally, the most mysterious of functions, introverted intuition, the prophet of the unconscious. If extroverted intuition looks outward in search of possibilities, the introverted looks inward, to the archetypal images that spring from the bottom of the psyche. They do not think, they see. They have visions, hunches, certainties they cannot explain logically, but which often prove correct. They perceive the subterranean processes of reality, the unfolding of destiny. They are the shamans, the seers, the visionary artists who bring to the surface symbols that society does not yet understand. They often live misunderstood, considered dreamers or madmen, for their language is that of the dream and the symbol. But they are the ones who bring cultural renewal, who see the future before it happens. The danger is losing themselves completely in their visions, disconnecting from the body and physical reality, becoming ghosts in life. If you frequently know things without knowing how, and feel like a stranger in this practical world, welcome to the clan of introverted intuition. We have reached the end of the description, but the beginning of individuation. Recognizing your type is not the end, It is the starting point. If you are a thinker, feeling is your shadow, your inferior function, primitive and barbaric. If you are an intuitive, sensation is your Achilles heel. Life, true psychic life, invites us not to pride ourselves on our dominant function, but to have the courage to develop the inferior functions. The goal is not to be a pure type, but to be a complete individual, capable of thinking, feeling, perceiving, and intuiting. It is a work for a lifetime, an alchemical magnum opus. Look at the mirror we built today. Where do you see yourself? And more importantly, where do you not see yourself? For it is there, in what you ignore or despise, that the gold of your growth resides. Comment below which type resonated with you and share this video with someone who needs to understand themselves better. The journey continues.